Hello everybody, welcome to Channel 4 News. I'm your anchor today, Ernest. Today, we'll be talking about 5 topics for our semester final. The first topic is the Russian Revolution, the second's World War I. The third is the Treaty of Versailles, and fourth, World War II, and lastly, the Cold War. Let's get into our first topic. Topic 1, Russian Revolution. Corruption and inefficiency was everywhere in the imperial government. People wanted out of there. People would riot over how much food they had. It wasn't much, at all. Tsar Nicholas II was forced to take over the throne when his brother refused to. There are 2 major phases to the Russian Revolution. This one's called the October Revolution. That was when the Bolshevik Party seized over power in Russia, inaugurating the Soviet regime. Communism. World War I, the war lasted from 1914 to 1918, but people believe that the murder and the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand was the trigger to the war. And at the time, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire were known as the Central Powers, the bad guys. They fought against Great Britain, France, Russia, Italy, Romania, Japan, and the United States. They were known as the Allied Powers. Thanks to technological advancements, the war saw unprecedented levels of destruction and death. 16 million people died in the war. The third topic, Treaty of Versailles. After the destruction of World War I, the Allied forces and leaders came to prevent another world catastrophe. They made the Treaty of Versailles, which is an amazing peace treaty that kept everything in balance. World War II. World War II was the most destructive conflict in history. Hitler was already a big deal by then, due to the fact that he was the one that started the war. A few days later, Britain and France declared a war on each other, but they never really fought. For months they were bluffing. This was known as the phony war. The technique Hitler used to attack everybody and anything was called the Blitzkrieg. That's when he'd send soldiers, tanks, and planes. While the soldiers ran, shot everything, the tanks were shooting a little farther. And the planes were just dropping bombs even farther away, just to destroy anything and everything in the way. Oh yeah, don't forget about Pearl Harbor. That's when Japan bombed the US. Hawaii. We got Japan back for that. And a bunch of things happened around the world, yada, yada, yada. Then Hitler commits suicide. This was known as the end of the war. This is when everything started coming together. But there's a Cold War, and that's our 5th topic. The United States, United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union were once friends before. But the Soviet Union was spying on us, just like they do. They're weird. The United States allows Stalin to let countries elect new leaders. This meant more commies. So, when there were leaders elected, they were already chosen by Stalin. And they were either bad guys or even worse guys. And then, alright, bad guys, but everybody picked the bad ones. Stalin's bad. That's period. There's proxy wars. Proxy wars are when 2 countries fight indirectly using other countries. An example was Korea. North Korea was Soviet Union, they were communist, and South Korea was a democracy. So the United States protected South Korea just to stop the spread of communism. Because of the Truman Doctrine. We'll do anything and pay anything to stop the spread of communism. And then the space race happens when Khrushchev takes over. And the space race was just to keep the Soviet Union spending all their pie. The pie was basically their money. And it was just distracting them, because once they lost all their money, it would be the end of the Soviet Union. Che and Fidel Castro team up to take over Cuba. Boom, more communism. Communism, bad. But eventually, glasnost and perestroika happen, and it fails and succeeds because communism dies. which was good for the US but bad for the Soviet Union because they died. And that's it. Thanks for coming to the news, Channel 4. Your anchor, Ernest.